morning, everyone, and welcome. It's great to have you with us here today at the Heavy Equipment Connect Forum and Expo 2026. Just a small note before we start. The language of today's agenda is going to be in English. However, we do have live translation headsets to Arabic and Mandarin through the headsets that you may grab just right next to the entrance. حضورنا الكريم برنامجنا سيكون باللغة العربية ولكن توجد سماعات ترجمة فورية لمن يرغب في استخدامها. I wish if I can know how to say this in Mandarin, but maybe next time. If you have spent some time here recently, ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed something. Saudi Arabia today is not standing still. It's moving, building, expanding, and transforming at scale. Walk through our cities and you will feel it immediately. Projects rising, infrastructure stretching further, skylines changing, and across all of this growth, there is one constant that you see everywhere. One shared engine behind this transformation, which is heavy machinery. This sends a clear message, not only locally, but on a global level. Building with purpose requires investment. It requires precision, and it requires close attention to the sectors that make development possible. At the heart of those sectors is heavy machinery. This is exactly why we are here today. Heavy Equipment Connect Forum and Expo 2026 brings together national efforts and global partners, manufacturers, investors, contractors, fleet owners, and government leaders, all under one roof, to focus on one essential question. How do we build the future smarter, faster, and more sustainable? We have a rich agenda planned for the first day of this forum, ladies and gentlemen, and we begin by hearing the opening address from a leader who is at the center of Saudi Arabia's industrial transformation. It's my pleasure to invite His Excellency, Engineer Khalil bin Slima, the Vice Minister of Industry and Mineral Resources for Industrial Affairs. Welcome to the stage, Your Excellency.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. صبحكم الله بالخير جميعا. Our industry leaders, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our first edition of Heavy Equipment Connect Forum and Expo for the year 2026. This gathering comes at an important moment of the kingdom and the industrial sector represented in this room. Saudi Arabia today is executing projects at scale, and at the same time we are building foundations for the long-term industrial economy. Through the National Industrial Strategy, the Kingdom has set a clear direction to expand manufacturing and strengthen our supply chain and raise the contribution of industry to the economical growth. The Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resources responsibility is to create a the right environment for industry to grow with confidence. This includes very clear policies, efficient regulations, competitive directed incentives, and availability and training of our most precious skilled talents. Along with that comes the industrial infrastructure that meets the needs of modern manufacturing. By 2030, the industrial sector is expected and will achieve and contribute nearly 900 billion Saudi riyals to the GDP, support the creation of more than 2 million jobs, direct and indirect. This will also lead to increasing the non-oil manufacturing export to over 550 billion riyals, more than triple what has been achieved in 2020. These outcomes will strengthen also the kingdom position in the global value chain and enhance economic complexity. The heavy equipment sector sits at the heart of this transformation. Between 2020 and 25, Saudi Arabia imported equipment machinery worth approximately 66 billion Saudi riyals, reflecting the scale of domestic demand driven by the construction, infrastructure, mining, and energy projects. Notably, large construction machinery alone accounted for nearly 75% of that demand, covering many types like the excavators, bulldozers, loaders, cranes, and related equipment. These figures clearly highlight the size of the opportunity and the strategic importance of localizing this sector. As demand continues to expand in these sectors and even more, such as the mining, which we all know it is in the high growth for Saudi Arabia, there is a big drive for localization of these equipments and, more importantly, to localize the value chain. Now our priority depends on enhancing our local manufacturing capabilities, build resilient, competitive supply chain, encourage technology transfer, that raises productivity and industrial sophistication. These objectives are the central of our national industrial strategy, which identifies the heavy equipment sector with the high demand as one of the top priority sectors to support the broader industrial growth. We're moving decisively from demand creation to industrial execution. A key example is the establishment of the machinery and equipment cluster in the Eastern Province at Mudun Dammam 3. The platform is designed to host integrated manufacturing and state-of-the-art factories, enabling economies of scale, localization, the benefit of clustering, where also the ministry will support by defining it as a cluster in building the superstructure required for that industry. So in this event or this forum, we will be reflecting this approach in reality. We will be bringing together the full ecosystem for the heavy machinery. So the demand owners, the manufacturers, the suppliers, contractors, financiers, regulator, ourselves, technology leaders under one roof to conduct, deliberate, and discuss avenues for potential partnerships and collaboration. The focus is practical alignment between the national priorities and the private sector, mixing global expertise with local capabilities, and translating all of our ambitions into a reality. To our partners, Saudi Arabia offers a highly stable and attractive platform for a long-term industrial investment. We value partners who are ready to consider Saudi Arabia as an investment destination and contribute to the capability development. You are at the cornerstone of the sector future. Your experience, flexibility, and proximity to the market are essential to this ecosystem as it continues to mature. Lastly, I encourage all participants to use this forum to exchange views, build partnerships, and identify opportunities that extends beyond this event. I wish you all a very productive and successful conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for those insightful, inspiring remarks.